Thank you for clicking on the video. Welcome back to the channel. This is another review for Love and Marriage Huntsville. This is the reunion season. What season we in? 3. Reunion part 1. Okay. Everybody's showing up to the set, to get ready. Carlos comes in there like Andy, greeting everybody, saying his hellos to everybody in their dressing room. He tells them that he's going to be the host this time. And everybody but Marceau, Tisha, and Martell are pleased by that information. Everybody else is like, okay, cool. It is what it is. Martell knows it's finna be some mess, because Carlos knows everything. And so everything is fair game. You're going to answer these questions tonight. Same with Marceau and Tisha. They know that Carlos isn't going to let up. He's not going to let them get away with anything, which he shouldn't. And the fact that Andy does that over there on Bravo really annoys us as the people, because we want you to answer the right questions. We want you to ask the right people the right questions. We want people to be held accountable. We want the answers, okay? We want the answers, and Carlos got us the answers. He did a great job hosting this reunion. Okay, so Carlos always, this is what Carlos be giving, but sometimes I feel like he be about to go, all full steam ahead and realizes, wait, let me not give so much pizzazz and zest. Let me not give so much of it. But Carlos be all of this when he be talking. And it's okay, Carlos. Listen, do you. We know you like to roll your neck a little bit and, give us all of this. We know you doing all of this, a little hip action, a little dip. We know, and it's okay. It's okay. Don't dumb down your gay for those people over there and own, okay? Don't do it. Okay, so he introduces the couples, Martell and Melody. He asks all of them if they're nervous about him hosting. Oh, first, let's talk about these fashions. Okay, so Maurice and Kimmy. I liked Kimmy's look. Carlos called her Jessica Rabbit, and that's exactly what she was given. It was a red sequin gown, kind of floor length, and it was just plain old red sequin. It was pretty, or it was either sequin or beaded. I want to say beaded. I'm not gonna say it was sequin. It was beaded. Her hair was great. I loved her wig. Let me not say wig. Because I feel like that's just shady. Loved her wig. No, I loved her hair. It was beautiful. The red on her looked nice. Maurice wasn't memorable. I mean, he had on a gray suit. Melody looked... Melody's dress was... I like the way Melody's dress fit. I like the fit on her. That high split... She looked good in that dress. Now, do I like the dress itself? Not my favorite. Not one that I would choose for me. Sorry, y'all. My phone was ringing, and Tim be long-winded sometimes. Anyway, I'm literally picking up where I left off. I think I was talking about the fashions. I left off on Melody. Melody looked great in her dress. Moving on. Tisha and Marceau. Tisha's look, I think she was going for 50s glam, with the feathers and the hump in her hair. I hated it. Hated it. I don't know what that was at all. I just, no, man. It wasn't executed right. It just wasn't executed right. It could have been a really cute look. I know what she was trying to go for, but no. Marceau had on a regular tux. Looked nice, I guess. Martell, country, gonna always give you country. Carlos King looked nice. I like the color of his suit. Yeah, can we move on? I think we can move on. So, Carlos, he asked the group if they are nervous about him hosting, and everybody says that they're not. Of course, Martell is, because like I said, Carlos knows everything. Carlos says he thinks that it's best because it's been 2 years since the last reunion, so they need someone who is not, going to miss a question. You know, he needs somebody, they need somebody that's going to ask all the right questions and make sure the right people answer them. So they go back through everybody's matriculation. We show everybody's package. And we start unraveling it. You know, he's checking in on everybody's progress and how they view their progress. And they're all happy. Tiff and Tisha and Marceau, you know, they both feel like, look at us now, you know, like to see one another, you know, put out goals and set goals, and then to meet them and see them being met on TV, you know, they feel like it's a positive situation. It's all good. They're happy. Carlos talks about the backlash from being on the show, and of course Tisha says she off Twitter because of it. Tisha says she took Carlos's advice. Don't read the comments, you know. So if she ain't on there, she can't see what y'all saying, because she already know. Y'all be showing out in the comments. Starting out, Melody and Martell, they pitched the show to Carlos, and it was supposed to highlight power couples in Huntsville, construction, that sort of thing. And he asked, do they have any regrets? And Melody says she doesn't. You know, the platform has helped her as well as her other castmates tremendously. You know, things have progressed and probably wouldn't have as quickly as they did if they weren't on the show. So she feels like it's definitely a positive. It's definitely positive that they came on the show. Martell says he does have regrets, you know, because Martell blames the show for the demise of his marriage and not his philandering penis. He says that he sacrificed a lot for Melody, you know, to follow her dreams. And Melody's like, isn't that what a husband should do? What a wife should do? Like, your spouse tells you that they have dreams, goals, you know, because Melody's was to be on TV, and he feels like he put that into you know, into play. And it's like, why you always trying to take credit for this girl's brand, or, you know, like who she is today? Granted, her experiences with you helped mold it a little bit, but you ain't the cause. I'm sure Melody would have gotten to this place with or without him. She just has that it factor. Duh. Marceau, we find out, wrote a letter to production or the powers that be about the title of the show. He didn't like the change of it. He didn't like the Love and Marriage Huntsville title, because he said, I thought this was about construction and the comeback group, not love and marriage. My expertise is in construction, not love and marriage. And that we know. That we know. Carlos, he asked Maurice how he feels about the show, and how it was viewed one way from the start, and, you know, now people, you know, feel like it's just nothing but drama. All they do is fight. And Maurice feels, you know, he thinks that it's disheartening, because there have been great moments on the show where things have been positive. You know, Marceau chimes in, Melody in her singing career, acting. Maurice finished his law degree. Tisha got her second master's degree. And I'm like, all of this stuff was in the play before y'all started filming, but okay. I guess I get where you're driving at, Maurice. Maurice is asked why he doesn't stand up for Kimmy, you know, with the whole side chick comment. And he compares it. He says, it's the same reason I don't defend myself from not being an alien. If someone calls me an alien, I know I'm not an alien. And it's like, Maurice, no, you don't get to do that this time. He is a very wordy individual, where he just likes to say a bunch of words, thinking eventually you just forgot what y'all was talking about, or you just gonna forget what the point is. And the point is, you don't stand up for your wife when people call her a side chick. Nobody's gonna call you an alien. Nobody's called you an alien. So why use that hypothetical? We don't live in hypothetical situations, so don't bring them up. Don't hypothetically me, okay, Maurice? Because in real life, you don't defend Kimmy. When the people just get to talking about her being a side chick, you sit back and let it roll. And that is what we're saying, Maurice. Always got an excuse. Always got some little some little soliloquy, some little parable. You know, like it's like, sir, we would stop with the metaphors and the bullshit. Okay, just say, you know what, you're right. And part of that is because of X, Y, and Z. No, instead, it's because like I don't defend myself from being an alien either. I would think of it like if I was being called an alien, would I defend that? I'm not an alien. Will you please shut up? Cause what you just said was a whole lot of nothing. A whole lot of nothing. Martell says that he got that information from Marceau. And of course, Marceau is like, I didn't tell you that. And he, of course, it might have been said jokingly, but of course, Martell took it and ran with it because he got to get the heat off of him by any means. He always has to deflect and throw and bring somebody down with him because it can't just be him that's the villain. Then Maurice tries to say that it was physically impossible for Kimmy to be his side. It's physically impossible. No, it's very possible. What are you talking about? There are airplanes. What you're not about to do is try to paint the picture that, oh, I wasn't even in Huntsville. Okay, so what? So what? You might not have been. I know you done been back and forth to Huntsville, and you could have met her then. Like he's trying to pull the wool over our eyes, and I'm not saying that to say that Kimmy is or was a side chick. It's just it's impossible from. It's like, what do you mean? It's very possible. It's physically impossible for her to be my side. Okay, Maurice, if that's what you want to say, okay, whatever. People jet set get flued out all the time. So I don't know what you're trying to say there. Tisha, she says that Kiowa is the one that told her that Kimmy was a side chick, and Kimmy just flat out breaks down the timeline. So when he filed for divorce the first time, she ducked and dodged being served. When she was served the second time, she was served by a sheriff. And so, of course, she had no choice but to comply at that point. And he says that he moved out after she did something that, and they don't say what, he just said that it was an unforgivable situation and he was leaving the very next day. Or he left 2 days later. I feel like she cheated. And we all know men ain't about to deal with that. And they cannot take that. They can dish that all day, but they cannot take that. But he says that for 6 months, 6 months to a year, he ran around, did his thing, did whatever, slept with whomever he wanted to, had a little fun before meeting Kimmy. When he met Kimmy, the buck stopped there. He settled with her. And Kiowa kind of blames Kimmy, for that because it's like there's a 6 month grace period, during a divorce where you could rekindle and reconcile, and she feels like Kimmy slid in and snatched that opportunity from her. Carlos, like I said, he wanted the timeline, which I just gave you guys. Just going through my notes here. Okay, so when we return from the break, we dive into Melody and Martell's reel. And Melody says that the only good thing that came from this entire situation is Milani. Milani and the rest of their children. Everything else is bullshit. There are a lot of contradictions, and Martell wants to know where these contradictions are. And she's like, you sitting up there saying you're not a cheater. I'm not a cheater at heart. Again, guys, he's hilarious. He's hilarious. The shit he says. Oh, this man here. Carlos asked Melody what happened during the pandemic. And apparently, because I'm not going to go through all of this, he wants to know what happened during the pandemic because last season, they didn't have a reunion. Was it the first reunion? The first reunion when she was pregnant. I think that was the first reunion. It's 3 seasons. We didn't get a season 2 reunion. So yeah, the first reunion when they came back, and it was very much a united front. We together. We gonna debunk all this bullshit. You know, like that when they came back like that, and they went from that to this. It's like it's a lot. So what happened during the pandemic? And she says that they were cool during the pandemic. You know, they were doing family things. Everybody was home. And then Martell started to leave out more. He started to leave the house. And he was out in these streets. And of course, where were you, Martell? Oh, I was at the gym. But the gyms were closed. Not my gym. By gym, he means Arian. Arian and her legs were open during the pandemic. And yeah, so that there's that. He tries to say that Arian wasn't the girl he was slipping off to. He is really a piece of work. He is really a piece of work. And Carlos reads him for risking everybody's life. So like, you out here, it's the pandemic while we're all in the house. You was out getting puss. Like, that's what you was doing, and then coming back home and risking everybody's life. Get out of here, Martell. Please. How much you was at the gym. Carlos asked, okay, if you weren't with her, how'd she get pregnant? How'd she get pregnant? The math ain't mathing. We need for it to add up. What's his timeline? So let's do the math. When's your son's birthday? And Martell is like, I don't want to get into. I plead the fifth. He don't want to get into that because it's just gonna prove what we're saying. Melody, she breaks it all the way down, you know, and he tells her. She says that he was basically telling her that she should compartmentalize, you know, his cheating. She's gonna have to find a way to deal with it. Like, you ain't talk to the older women, and she says you ain't talk to the older men, and he says yes, I did, and they told me to cheat smart. They told me to cheat smart, and you just gonna have to get on board. And when he started talking like that, that is what was the catalyst for her. And I'm done. Wasn't the baby, wasn't none of that. It was that. It was the fact that he wanted her to be on board with him just continuing to cheat on her with Arian. He wanted to keep Arian, and he also wanted his wife. And Melody wasn't about to play them games. Melody says that she tells us a story about, you know, how when this cheating started and all of that. So 3 years into their marriage, in 2017, she caught him cheating. His phone was ringing, blowing up. Somebody was just blowing him up. And finally she answered. And the person says, I ain't call you. I ain't called to talk to you. I called Martell. Put Martell on the fucking phone. That's what Arian said. And y'all, the way I would have saw red, I couldn't even imagine. Girl, Arian, what? Now, see, I'm not the person that's like, oh, get on the side chick. Because, you know, I didn't marry you, girl. I married him. And I have a covenant with him. And he's the one that broke that. You know, and so my issue is with him. But I also got issues with a woman that has no respect for herself or women. So my husband is fair game to her. No, ma'am. You got the right one. You know, like we all both of y'all gonna have a problem with me because you know about me, girl. You know I'm over here at this house with these 4 kids at the time. And instead of, you know, staying in the shadows like the side chicks need to do, you out front trying to assert yourself like I'm wrong for answering my husband's phone. Girl, don't come up stinking. That's all I'm saying. Don't come up stinking playing around with people's husbands like that, because everybody don't play them games. Everybody ain't from that school. Some people are crazy. Some people take vengeance very seriously. Some people don't have it all up there, and they will impulsively react to this type of stuff. Arian treading like, girl, you on thin ice with that bullshit. I couldn't believe that. I ain't call you. I called Martell, put him on the fucking phone. Excuse me, ma'am. What? So send me your address. Send me your location. Okay, sis, I just want to talk. Send me your location. And she says Martell ain't come to the phone. She was telling him, come on here, Martell. Your girlfriend on the line. Talk to her. He wouldn't go to the phone. She was ready to have that thing on speaker. Okay, so at one point, Martell accused Marceau of messing around with Melody because they were talking a lot. And Martell says, no, he apologized for that. And then Marceau is like, I ain't apologized for nothing. You apologized to me. What are you talking about? So this is what he's talking about. Apparently, Marceau, when they had got into it that day, Vanessa called. Of course, I'm sure Melody talked to her mama. Then her mama called Marceau because at the time she was working over there at, is it Scope? Marceau and Tisha's business. She was working there. And so she called Marceau, and Marceau called Melody, who was in the car driving. She was pulling up next to a Chick-fil-A, and he said, okay, just pull in the Chick-fil-A parking lot. They talked over the phone, and while talking, I guess he was like, let's just get some drinks, so we, let's talk things out. Very casual and platonic, not anything to be alarmed about. But Martell loves to run with the narrative that Marceau just has a thing for his wife. Now, do I think Marceau flirts with Melody on occasion? Yes, but I feel like he's just a flirtatious guy, and he would be the same way with Melody or any other beautiful woman. So, I don't think that Melody is special to him. I just think that Marceau can be flirty, and we pick up on that. We're not gonna say he doesn't flirt. We're not gonna do that. Now, does he want the woman, want to sleep with her? No, I don't think so, and let's hope not. But Marceau definitely be flirting, and I'm sure he apologized for that because it doesn't, optics. Don't be asking my woman to go get no drinks with you. I don't care if it's platonic or why are you trying to hash shit out anyway, Marceau? Now, see, don't give nobody like Martell ammunition to just run off with things because he'll do it. Tisha was like, wait, who asked about dreams? Because they was kind of trying to breeze by it, we just gonna breeze right on by. Tisha's like, so what was that about drinks? Who asked who for drinks? Who was asking for drinks? Okay, so Martell. Now he wants to drag Melody down. We getting on him a little bit too much, I guess. And he says that she performed fellatio on another man during the course of their marriage. Melody says that no. Because this was a back and forth. I can't do this, y'all. I can't. I can't. Anyway, he says that Melody gave some guy head back when they were married. Melody says, no, I told you he gave me head. Apparently, when Sis moved out and moved into that apartment, she got her a little piece. She says that she met a guy in, January-ish, early January, after December 2017, when her husband was caught cheating. She got an apartment, and she was checked out, thought that she was going to be done with him. So, yeah, she went and had a little four-week fling with this guy. And Martell is like, but you said you gave him head. But you said that you gave him head. You didn't serve him. And she's like, not that I remember. I don't remember that. I remember him giving me head, though. I don't remember that. Girl, now, Melody, you don't remember? I can take you saying, yeah, I did it. I mean, yeah. And he gave me head as well. And let me tell you why I fell into his bed. You could have definitely stood in it, Melody. You were warranted, especially in the space that you guys were in your marriage. Ain't nobody gonna judge, sis. Ain't nobody gonna judge, but I'm judging for real. I'm judging harshly on I don't remember. You don't remember sucking peen. How can you forget, Auntie? She ain't Auntie age, but how can you forget? How can you forget? You ain't forgot. But okay. Carlos says the same thing. Now, Melody, forgot? You forgot? She say, yes, I forgot. For me, no. I know what he did to me, but for me, no. Okay, so he asked about, being in competition. Is she in competition with Arian? Did she have that baby out of competition? Did she, fall back in line, or, because so that Arian wouldn't win? And she said she's never in competition with nobody. She like I said, she left because Martell started talking that, oh, I'm just gonna cheat and I need you to be comfortable with it talk. And she wasn't with it. She wasn't with being the wife to a serial cheater. You know, she wasn't with being second best or none of that. Carlos asked Martell if he ever thought that Melody would leave him, and he says no. He really thought that she would be cool with, you know, that situation. He thought that she would, and it might have been because he cheated for so many years and she might have found out about things. I believe that. I believe that being on this show exacerbated a situation that was already a problem in their marriage, and it probably gave her a good push to stand on, you know, not tolerating that type of thing. I feel like Melody don't want that attached to her brand. taking back a serial cheater, you know, because that makes you look weak, and I know she ain't trying to look weak out here. But I feel like it's a little of both. It's a little of both, and that's okay. Martell goes into this story and everything about his cheating ways and about how he done went to the altar over it. They was in church. He had went to the altar over it. He said, listen, take the taste of Arian's puss out my mouth, Lord. I don't want it no more. I don't want her no more. Please just take it from me. Take it from me. I don't want to be a cheater no more. That was Martell at the altar. I don't think he was praying hard enough. He didn't do the work. He didn't do the work after the fact. You repent and then you sin no more. Martell, okay? Don't repent and then fall back into it, because that's not true repentance, okay? Martell, you wasn't really repenting. You wasn't really trying to not be the cheater. Carlos asks, you know, so was it a you couldn't stop cheating thing, or is it a I can't stop cheating with her type of thing? Like, he feels like Arian is the main dish, the dessert, the first course, the second course. She's the whole buffet, because she can't possibly be a side chick with how he's always running back to her. There has to be something there. Martell says, I mean, yeah, there was a connection there, you know, like on a personal level, way before they, you know, things progressed to a romantic on a romantic level. So he cares about her, and it's obvious. Even though he called her a peasant, even though he be calling her coleslaw and all of that on TV, he love that woman, which is why he can't stay away from her. He in love with two women. Or in love with Arian and just trying to, you know, keep the family. Because, you know, you got to have, he's a Southern man. You got to have a family, you know, got to have a wife and kids and a girlfriend. Carlos asked him, so if you had met Arian before marrying Melody, would you be with this woman? Would you be with Arian? And so that's where we cut out. You know, we'll be picking up next week, this week. We'll be picking up with his answer. I feel like he's going to say something like he would always marry Melody. Like, I feel like because he still be trying to sweet talk her. Like, there's some glimmer of hope, and there's not. She is not getting back with you, Martell. I feel like it's gonna have to be years down the road, and then like we doubling back on their relationship years down the road. Anyway, that's it, guys. Let me get off of here. I still gotta watch Power and get you guys that review. Be sure to rate, comment, and subscribe to the channel. It's Call Me Busby, and I'll chat with you later. Peace and light.